Good morning, boys and girls. Today for math, we're going to be going over some strategies for word problems. So our goal today is to sort some keywords for addition and subtraction word problems. And we're going to also be able to solve 3-digit addition word problems. But first, we're going to take some notes in your math notebook. So I want you to turn to the back half where we separated our notes in our warm-up section, and we're going to go to a clean page. Okay, like I said yesterday, we're going to be using the phrase or the acronym Ipac all year long. So I want you to write those letters nice and big. And then our title can be Problem Solving Steps. Okay, so our problem solving steps, how we can remember is to use Ipac. Okay, now the first letter, if you can't remember from yesterday, is information. Okay, the next one stands for plan. A stands for answer. And don't write too big on this part because we're going to add a couple more details to help you remember what to do on each of these steps. Okay, and the C stands for check. Okay, now we're going to go back up to information. Now what that means is when you first read the problem, you're looking for keywords, which is what we're going to go over today in our assignment, keywords to look for. Now, just keep in mind, you may not always see a keyword in a word problem. So don't just read over and over again looking for a keyword because there's not always going to be one. You just have to read and understand what it's asking you. Okay? So keywords, you need to cross out extra information. Okay, you need to know what is the problem asking. That's usually where we underline the question. What is the problem asking? Okay, so those are 3 things that you're looking for or might be doing, underlining, circling when you first start your problem. Information. Okay, now for plan, what strategies will I use? Okay, you can also, on this step, if there's multiple choice, you will start eliminating. So eliminate answer choices you know are wrong or don't make sense. Okay. Now to get our plan, that means you're going to have to use those keywords or understand what the problem is asking you to know what type of strategy you should do to solve and get your answer. Okay? Now for answer, that just means you need to show your work. Show your work to get your answer. Let's try not to do big numbers in our head. It's okay to do smaller numbers in our head because that's what we want. As a math teacher, We want you guys to be fluent and quick with your math facts. But on big numbers, you guys need to be showing your work, okay? And you know, for me and my class, if we're doing our work, I like you to box your answer. Okay, so that means you put a box around your final answer so that way it's easy to find. And the last part, check, does your answer make sense? Okay, so how you might know is by checking back and reading the problem again and making sure you actually answered the question that was being asked. You may estimate to see if your answers to your estimated problem and your regular problem come out to be close to each other. If they're not, then you probably made a mistake somewhere. Okay, you also can check by solving another way. Okay, so there may be a different way you could have worked out the problem. Maybe you drew a picture, but then you want to go back and you want to make a list or work it out. So different ways to solve problems will help you check and make sure you got it right. And that will be all for our journal entry. So for your assignment today, you're going to be sorting keywords because like we said in step 1, you want to look back and find the keywords that are going to help you figure out what to do in a word problem. Okay, we should have this already taped into our math notebook. There is a couple that I wanted to add. We did see this word already in a word problem we did together this week, and is the word both. When you see that word, that's going to tell you to add. So what is both of the numbers, what is both of the top, whatever item they're talking about added together is what you're going to do. So add when you see that word. ER word, so anything ending with an ER, like bigger, how much bigger was the first elephant than the second elephant? How much smaller was the weight of the giraffe than the weight of the hippopotamus? So any words that end in ER are clues that you're going to subtract. Okay? Now, so make sure you use this when you're doing your word problems today and for the rest of the year when you do word problems. Okay? Now for your assignment today, I want you to, in Seesaw, we're going to work out some 3-digit addition word problems. I'm going to go ahead and model how I want you to do this on your paper. And then you guys are going to be getting a sorting assignment that looks like this. So you're going to have a chart. One side's addition, one side is subtraction, and you're going to separate the key words into which side it goes on. So for example, how many more? How many more? Where do you think that would go? You can use your journal to help you. So you would take that and you would, okay. So that's step 2. First we're going to do some word problems. Step can do your keyword sort because that's going to help you throughout the week. Okay? So how to do your going through these word problems today. Okay, number 1, there are 7. If Janice entered 208 into the computer, how many movie titles would be listed? Okay, so I need to go and find the important information. So how many movie titles would be listed? That means the 762 meals that she and the 287 more she still has to enter. Okay, and is that they want me to combine problem over plan, I can see that if there are 700 already listed, and is entered 287 more, I need to combine those two. So that means my plan is to add. So you write your plan. You can also, so I know that you've gone through the second step, which is make a plan. You can see there's not very much room on here. Scratch. Go back in your notebook where we took notes and solve on the back of that. Very much room, and I don't want my numbers to be so hard to read. Okay, so my plan is to add some, take my time, write them and notice each digit line. We start in our ones place. 2 plus 7 is 9. 6 plus 8 is 14. Now you should remember that we can't put a 2-digit in one place. So I put the 4 down and I need to carry the 1. Okay, now don't forget to add that. So it's 1, which is 8 plus 2, which is 10. Now we can go ahead and put both digits down because so we go ahead and put the 10 down, but make sure we go back and add a comma. Okay, so that was our answer. Now real quickly I can check to make sure my answer is reasonable. If I round real quick, this is 800 and 300. 8 plus 3 is 11. So 1,100, I can see that, yes, this is reasonable. Both of my answers are pretty close to each other. Okay, so we checked our answer. We read again and make sure that it all makes sense. We're actually answering the question. It asked us how many movie titles will be listed, and it's talking about the ones in the computer. So my answer does make sense. So then you would go back over here and write your answer on the line. Okay. You could also box your answer here. That way we know which one is your answer and it's easy to find. Okay. Now I wrote super big. You guys don't have to write this big. You can just write on the lines like you normally would in class. I wrote bigger so it's easier for you to see. Okay, so now I want you to go ahead and go through these problems 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 and show me your Ipac strategies. Underline important information like I did here. Circle the numbers that you need. Make a plan. So quickly write down what you're having to do. I'm going to just add. So I put the symbol, or you can write the word. Okay. A is for answer, so make sure that you answer the question and show all of your work. C is for check, so always quickly go back and check. Did it take me very long to go back and check my answer by doing the estimating? No, it only took me a few extra seconds, okay? So that is important. Don't be lazy, just go ahead and do it because it's going to help you get all of your answers correct, okay? Alright, so when you get into Seesaw, you have this to complete and the keyword sort. And if you have any questions or need help, you can look back in your notebook for those keywords, or just let me know and I'll be happy to help you.